Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I wanted to make a quick video just to talk about Bitcoin and crypto in the week that was and what we can expect in the future. I want to talk about macro conditions that could impact our investments and all of that. If that's something that interests you, stay tuned. Let's get into it. So looking at the crypto market, we have about 332,000 cryptos, market cap of $1 trillion. We hit $1 trillion, guys. It's been a while, but we finally hit that trillion mark, which is important. BTC dominance 42.1 and ETH dominance 19.2. Looking at the heat map, it's a mixed bag, some red, some green, but Bitcoin only came down about 1.5% at the time of this video. ETH was down 1.6, so nothing to go too crazy about. It's to be expected since things were going up for a little bit. So looking at the coin market cap numbers 1 through 10, looking at the 7-day average, we see Bitcoin is up 9.2%, ETH up 5%. BNB not really up. We have XRPs up 4.5%, Cardano 8.7%, and Doge up a percent, and then we have Solana up 6.8%. Looking at 11 through 20, Polygon up 2%, Polkadot up 5%, Shiba, my Shiba fans out there, 18.5%, and we're going to talk about why that went up as high as it did. Litecoin about 0.8. Looking down here, Avalanche 7.2%, Uniswap 5%, Cosmos up 2%. Chainlink got us a gain almost 3%. We have Monero 2.2, Stellar 6.1, and Aptos. Wow, look at that, 59.17%. Big gainer there. Near Protocol 14%. ApeCoin up 12%, Filecoin 11%, Kronos 6.5%, Algorand 8%, Hedera, nice gain, 35.8%, Quant 10%, Internet Computer 9.7%, VeChain, very nice, 7.4%, and Decentraland Metaverse Play 27.4%. Then we have Aave for DeFi up 9%, Sandbox Metaverse Play 24.8%. All the metaverses were doing good. Flow up 9%, EOS 1.9%, Axie Infinity, wow, 26.7%. And then rounding out, we have Phantom at the bottom there, 14.8%. I'm a big Phantom fan. So although we had a nice rally, there's still a dark cloud over the crypto space as well as the economy in a whole, and that's called inflation. And the person that's trying to combat that is the Fed Chair, Jerome Powell, and his people. And they've been raising rates and things have been tight. The economy, you see it in your supermarkets. You see it in every little purchase that you make, even going to restaurants. Things that used to cost, wings that used to cost maybe $10, $12, now you're close to $20 for the same amount of wings. Eggs are going out of control. And so because of that, people are watching what they spend and, maybe speculative things like crypto and maybe some stocks or anything like that. If you wanted to invest 100, now people may be investing less than that. And I want to touch upon some of these things because it definitely impacts how we see the crypto market and how we want to invest and, basically see what the future holds for all of us. So basically we got the Fed chair. He has an announcement probably next week on if he's going to increase it up to, a quarter point or if it's going to be 0.5. So basically markets expect the U.S. Fed to raise rates again on February 1st, probably at 0.25 percentage points. So therefore, a total increase would be around 4.5 to 4.75. However, there's a chance that the Fed opts for a larger increase, which is 0.5 percentage point hike. So the stock market's kind of pricing in that he's only going to increase it up a quarter, but who knows? Jerome Powell said that his main objective is to control inflation, and by any means necessary, if he has to crumble the economy a bit to do that, that's what he wants to do. So we'll see what happens. Now, that is not only impacting your cryptos and, stocks and all of that, it's also impacting businesses. Your way of making money, means of making money. A lot of layoffs began in the tech sector, and we're seeing it all over. Just this week, Google announced that they were laying off 12,000 people. Microsoft, before that, 10,000 people. We go in and we look at Vox Media. They said they're cutting out 7% or about 130 people. Then you have BlackRock. Saying that they're cutting about 500 jobs or less than 3% of its workforce. Goldman Sachs, not in tech, but banking, they'll lay off 3,200 workers. Coinbase and crypto, they've been cutting people just because crypto is not hot right now, but they're letting go 950 people. The move comes just a few months after Coinbase laid off, prior to that, 1,100 people. So Mickey D's, not in tech industry, not in crypto, even they're considering, or they are cutting some of their workforce. It was announced that they're going to be making some cuts to their corporate staff. Stitch Fix, which is an online personalized subscription clothing retailer, they said that they're laying off 20% of its salary staff. Amazon, I think they have it in the plans or planning to lay off 18,000 employees. 18,000, that's a lot. Salesforce, they said that they're cutting about 10% of its workforce from its more than 70,000 employees. So I say this not because it's doom and gloom, but it's just something as investors that we have to be aware of. You know, I know we like to degen in certain projects and everything like that, but the economy is not looking strong. Interest rates are getting higher, and it's getting more expensive to buy things. And because of that, you think you may have a solid job and something there, but any day, you just have to be prepared for the worst. So what that means is if you have a job right now, 9 to 5, you don't want to slack. You still want to work hard. And if a tough decision needs to be made by corporate, they're not looking at you because they view you as a valuable employee. Just something to think about, because we want to continue to have this money, have it coming in so we can invest in our crypto and protect our future and have passive income and financial freedom. That's why we're all in this game. Continuing with the macro and the impacts of inflation and Jerome Powell and the, just raising rates and how it's getting tougher to buy things. Looking at this, you see real estate is also declining. In this article, it says existing home sales fell for the 11th consecutive month in December, hitting the slowest pace since November 2010. The article goes on to say that home sales ended the year at a seasonally adjusted annualized pace of 4.2 million units, which is 34% lower than December 2021. It is the slowest pace since November 2010, when the nation was struggling through a housing crisis. Home sales have now fallen for 11 straight months. Also, if things are getting more expensive to buy and you're not getting paid as much, if your salary is not keeping up with inflation, basically you put things on credit, on your credit cards. And unfortunately, the negative consequence of the Fed hikes is now these adjustable rates that we see on these credit cards are getting higher, 19%, 24%, and even higher than that. And because of that, us in the US, we're carrying more credit card debt, which isn't good. So you see here, this lending tree chart, it shows basically from, how it was in 1999 all the way through Q3 of 2022. And you just see an upwards trend there. Now let's tie in some of the macro with crypto. And I don't know if you heard about this, but earlier this week, there was an issue with BOFA and people not seeing their transactions with Zelle. So Zelle is basically an app where you can pay people, different merchants, peer-to-peer, exchange money, and they pull it from your bank account. However, some people, I think it was less than 3,000, were saying that they weren't seeing the money that was sent. And Bank of America, at some point in time, didn't know where the money was. And I say this because, they always say that crypto is a Ponzi scheme and all of this. But if you think about it, banks, if you have a bank account right now and you have a debit card, you have a limit. You can only spend like $2,500 or whatever the case may be. You don't have unlimited access to your funds. Why is that? Because as soon as you deposit your money into the bank, it's gone. They lend that out. So crypto, you have your assets. You can put it on the cold wallet, and you know what you have. You're in control of it. If you wanted to send it to somebody, you can send it. Banking system is not like that, and that's why I always say DeFi will take over the traditional banking system as we know it. But I thought this was an interesting article. It just goes to show that something like this, your bank, they can always have access to your money, and at some point it can disappear, and you have no control over it. Yes, I know the FDIC insures your money up to a certain amount, but what if you have over that amount? Crypto, cold wallet, controlling your keys. I think that's the answer to all of that. Now, Mr. Cramer, in a crypto space, we like to say whatever he says, you do the opposite. Inverse Cramer, right? So basically, he thanks, the SEC chairman for standing up to crypto bullies seeking spot Bitcoin ETF approval. He also said earlier this week and last week to sell all of your crypto. And he also said something about selling your friends. I don't know what Crim's talking about, but he flip-flops all the time. There's a point in time prior to the last bull run, he was saying that crypto was a Ponzi scheme. Then he said he purchased some Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now we're in a bear market, so he's against crypto again. So we'll see what happens in 2025. So JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon says Bitcoin is a hyped up fraud and cryptocurrencies are a waste of time, but blockchain is a deployable technology. You know, I find this humorous because JP Morgan, I know that they're trying to do something with blockchain. I think they even have a blockchain, a coin coming out. So they're into crypto. A lot of these guys, you know, they come out and they say crypto's bad, Bitcoin is bad. But what they're doing is trying to control the narrative, trying to control the media attention so they can bring the price down. So him and his buddies on the back end can buy it cheaper. Don't think for a second that Jamie Dimon doesn't understand the importance of Bitcoin and the future value of Bitcoin. I don't believe it one bit. But anyway, you know, this is what he's saying. This is what he's preaching to the choir out there. Very, very funny. So Coinbase is leaving Japan, and they're leaving Japan. Coinbase hasn't been doing too well. If you look at the stock price and the layoffs and all of that. And they cite the reason that they're leaving Japan is because its whole thing is operations in Japan as a part of a larger operational review that may result in shuttering its business in the country. Due to market conditions, the company has made the difficult decision to halt operations in Japan. Blah, blah, blah. So basically, financial reasons, they're getting rid of their operations in Japan. I don't think it's anything to worry about. I think Coinbase just cutting their costs, cutting all the fat. I still think that Coinbase will make it here in the US. Next up in crypto news, we had Genesis Capital filing for bankruptcy. It came to no surprise as anyone in the crypto market. We kind of knew this was where it was headed after the FTX debacle. And the way the crypto space reacted to it, if you looked after the announcement, the prices really didn't come down. It wasn't a big shock to the market or to price value. You know, Genesis Capital is filing for bankruptcy protection in New York, estimating liabilities in the range of $1 billion to $10 billion and assets at the same level. The company plans a dual track process, which will pursue sale, capital raise, and/or equitization transaction and enable the business to emerge under new ownership. Genesis derivatives, spot trading, broker-dealer, and custody businesses are not included in the proceedings. So Bislotto, earlier this week, there was a big announcement. You know, the U.S. Department of something was going after crypto, and they had a big announcement. Everybody was like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And the market kind of fell for a little bit, not knowing if it was going to be Binance or some other exchange. But yet they hit us with Bislotto. I never even heard of Bislotto. I didn't know what it was. But basically, you know, that was the big announcement. As soon as Bislotto was announced, the markets went right back up again. So basically, it says U.S. authorities have taken enforcement actions against crypto firm Bislotto, seizing the company's website and labeling the business as a primary money laundering concern connected to Russian illicit finance. So it's a big nothing burger, basically. SBF, the man we love to hate. So basically, when he was arrested and FTX went down, he kept saying, I only have, 100,000 in assets. That's all I have, 100,000 in my account. And the way he worded it was 100,000 in his account, which he had access to. However, this week they announced that they seized 7 million in assets. And basically that's where we're at with SBF news. I don't like talking about him too much, but that's what we got. So in relation to him, the new CEO of FTX is starting or saying that maybe they can restart FTX again. So instead of, going through bankruptcy and doing all of that, they're thinking of maybe restructuring and just opening the project up again, opening a new exchange. SBF also said that FTX US was never inoperationable. He said that they were fully funded. Again, you take that with a grain of salt. But the question is, if FTX restarted under new ownership, would you invest? Would you put your crypto and buy crypto off of the new exchange? I, for one, would not do it, but I just figured I'd bring that up. So Shiba, we saw earlier when we went over this Shiba numbers for the past 7 days, that it was on a tear, and it's because of SHIBIRIUM, which is their new layer 2, which is going to be on top of Ethereum. Basically, it's going to be the same as Arbitrum and Polygon, as that is for Ethereum. It's going to help Shiba scale. So it's pretty positive for Shiba because they're trying to shake the meme coin moniker. They want to have more use case, and I think that's positive. They're moving in the right direction for that. So for all the Shiba fans, there you go. Also, Australia came out with a stable coin. It's going to be launched on Ethereum and Algorand, which is pretty big for Algorand people out there. I like that. So the National Australia Bank announced that it will soon launch a new stablecoin backed by the Australian dollar on Ethereum and Algorand. Pretty positive. Robinhood is also rolling out their wallet, and I believe it's on Polygon, on top of Polygon. Rolls out its MetaMask wallet competitor to 1 million users. So again, that's positive. Robinhood, I feel, is a good bridge for retail investors not knowing much about crypto, don't know much about Coinbase, but Robinhood can it's a gateway into the crypto space. And having your own wallet, I think, is positive for the space. So that's pretty good. So Block, formerly known as Square, Jack Dorsey basically announced that it's finally integrating the Lightning Network into its payment app. So what does that mean? The integration of the network will allow Cash App customers in the US to send Bitcoin for free within seconds to anyone in the world. So let's think about that for a second. So if you have two people that have the Cash App or a wallet that's compatible with Lightning Network and you're sending it from the Cash App, you can have over 500,000 in Bitcoin and send it to anyone in the world. Let's say, Alaska or Egypt. And they can have that, within seconds. No banks involved, nobody involved, no bank controlling you, charging you a fee, wiring fee or anything like that. That is amazing. And that is the promise of Bitcoin. And I can't speak enough to it. I really like that. That's why I say the banks' days are numbered, traditional banks. Their days are numbered. DeFi is going to take over soon. The Lightning integration is made possible by the Lightning Development Kit created by Spiral, which is funded by Block. Cash App customers will also be able to send Bitcoin to any compatible wallet that accepts Lightning Network payments without being charged fees. Also, Ms. Yellen of the Treasury Department halts 2 federal retirement funds after the government hits their debt limit. So the U.S. debt limit's in the $30,000 trillion. And, they have to raise that debt ceiling so they can continue operating as normal. She has proposed that she wants to tap into 2 federal retirement funds. Can you imagine you work your whole life and you're contributing to this fund and you're maybe a year or 2 away from retirement and then you hear that they're halting benefits because the government has control of it. Guys, this is why we are in crypto, because we want to control our own money. We don't want anyone telling us what to do, how to spend our money. With news of these central bank digital coins coming out, all these things, that's what they're trying to do. And right now, we're so early in this space and everybody hasn't really awakened to it. They don't know what's going on, but we're here. You're watching this channel. You understand that we're part of something real special and something early. By the time everyone catches on, we'll already been there and we truly understand what this technology is all about. So guys, thank you for this, your time. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked any of the content that I brought out and talked about today, please consider hitting that like button. It means a lot to the channel. And if you want to see more of my content, consider subscribing to the channel. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a good week. Very productive. Make it successful. Until next time. See you later. Bye.